Welcome back to the HEC Field Tools tutorial. In this video, we'll go over the Bore Data tool. We've already got a demo project made, so let's go ahead and tap on the Bore Data tool. On this page, we currently see a bore log I've done, but we'll go through it step by step. Let's tap on the New Bore Log button. Our iOS app has two choices. The first one is manual entry, or we have another option to upload a photo of our locator screen and have optical image recognition enter it for you. This feature exists if you have a locator model that has no way of exporting bore logs, but you have bore logs saved in the locator itself. You could snap a photo of the bore log screen and use that feature to automatically enter rod data for you. We won't be doing that today, so we'll choose manual entry. The first thing we want to do is give this bore a name. Typically, we add the address of where we are at, or a landmark description. This is entirely optional, by the way. If we don't enter a name, a default name will be assigned to it when we save it. The next step is to choose our rod length. We have 6-foot and 10-foot rods as choices, but if you're using a different length of rod than that, you can choose the custom option and enter your desired rod length. We're going to stick with 10-foot rods for this example. Defining rod length is crucial for the GPS math the server will be doing in the GPS step. Next, we can optionally add the name of the drill and locator operators here. Now that we have our bore information entered, it's time to enter our rod data. We have a field for depth and pitch. Don't worry about entering a negative symbol in for pitch, as our server will automatically do that for you based on the depth and other calculations. Since I already have a bore log entered, let me edit the rod table to bring us back to this same page. Great, now let's go over the UI. Notice how the rod order descends. We can scroll down and edit or remove any rod entry. Anytime we make an entry and tap the Add Rod button, the entries will be pushed further down so the UI stays nice and consistent while you're in the field holding a phone and locating, for example. Alright, now that we have rod data entered, you have two options. You can either save the bore log so you can enter GPS data later, or we can enter GPS data for this bore now. Normally, I would go straight into entering GPS data, but for this example, I'm going to back out and edit the GPS data. By default, the map will open over your default HQ address. If there is no address entered in your company settings, which an admin has to do on HEC Bore, then the map will open in your selected time zone. Los Angeles for Pacific Time, for example. Let's now navigate to where we did performed our bore. Let's tap on the search bar. You can enter anything you would normally search for on Google Maps. It could be a place, a business, or a city, for example. Okay, now that we have our map ready, you will place point A and then point B, but here's how the two modes differ. In manual mode, you place point A and then point B wherever you want, regardless of how long the bore is or how many rods were entered. Auto mode uses a trigonometry equation to automatically place point B within proximity of your tap, based on how many rods were entered, how long the rods are, and the depth information provided. It will automatically measure the total allowable distance based on those data points. While in auto mode with point B placed, you are not allowed to move point B too far away from its maximum calculated length. However, you can toggle back to manual mode after for fine adjustments. Most locators or operators will be able to look at a map and know exactly where they started and exited the ground, so manual mode will be perfect for that. Auto mode exists for bores that, for example, go along a dirt road in a straight line for hundreds of feet with no real way to know where you came out on a map. So, providing a way to automatically measure proved very useful for us. Anyhow, let's demo both. Let's place point A, and now point B. Notice that in auto mode, I can tap and drag point B wherever I want to reposition it. Next, notice the blue dots in between points A and B. These are tap points you can use to curve your bore path. If you tap and hold on one, they have a very specific behavior. Once you tap and hold, the point will raise up and float away from your finger a bit so you can see the point. Now if you drag your finger, you can drop the point exactly where you want. Without this feature, you would never see the point because they're too small and under your finger. Now that we have our bore path drawn out, we can tap Generate to draw our bore path. If you're happy with that, then you can click Save. Otherwise, you can click Reset and do it again. This concludes the tutorial.